Hi, I'm Chris Moriarty, and in this fourth short video about Simu-sportcentre, we're at the stage where we've inputted all our decisions and we're ready to look at the results which we're going to achieve based on the decisions which we've made to try and achieve the objectives which we set at the beginning of the simulation. So once we're happy with all our decisions, the first thing to do is look at our first quarter's results, and we do this by going to the quarterly results tab and clicking on that. So the simulation canvas tells us that this is our final chance, and once we click quarterly results we can't go back and change the first quarter. We move on to the second quarter in essence. So I'm going to click calculate quarterly results. And so what we can see is that on a quarterly basis, the simulation gives us some basic management information on performance of the centre. At the end of the year, once we've completed 4 quarters, we get far more detailed results in the yearly results. So back to the quarterly results. So this gives us information on the revenue that's been generated in this quarter. It gives us information on our total costs, and it gives us our operating profit. So we can see here that the centre is currently losing just under £120,000 per quarter. It also allows us to see the visits to different areas of the centre and visits at peak and off-peak periods, and it gives us our total visits. So this is one way for students to monitor whether they are meeting their objectives. So this might, for example, we might be able to look at financial objectives relating to revenue or managing costs. We might look at objectives for usage of specific areas. So the pool, the hall, the fitness studio, how well used are those? And the final table here also allows us to see a breakdown of usage for different areas of the centre by different user groups or user types. So this allows students to monitor how well they are doing in attracting, for example, juniors or the unemployed or the elderly to the centre and to different areas of the centre. So some of them will have set decisions or made decisions in order to try to allow them to, for example, attract more elderly to the swimming pool. And this is a way of assessing how successful they've been in doing this. What students need to do is compare the results of this quarter with the corresponding quarter in the previous year, the results for which are shown in the seminar documentation, which should be distributed to students at or previous or before they actually begin the simulation and in the process of planning for the simulation. So that's a brief overview of the information that's available on a quarterly basis, and what we're going to do in the next and final short film about Simu-sportcentre is look at the more detailed information which is available in the end of year report. Just to show you what students will do next is, so they've completed quarter 1, what they now do is go back to the decisions tab, and based on progress towards their objectives as evidence from results from the quarter that they've just looked at, in our case quarter 1 in year 1, they decide whether they need to make any changes to decisions they've previously made. So this takes them back to the decisions page, and we are into another round of decisions where they can change opening hours, the programme in the pool, or the prices. So they're evaluating the immediate impact of their decisions, and this is where the simulation comes into its own, because students get immediate feedback on decisions they've taken in terms of the impact this has had on the performance of the centre. They take on board this information and recalibrate their decisions in light of this information. So it really engages them in reflecting on information, thinking about what they've done, the impact of their decisions, and re-evaluating. And the way we teach this at Sheffield Hallam is we try to take students round the kind of performance management cycle of planning for the simulation, doing the simulation, making changes to the program, the opening hours, the pricing, the expenditure, reviewing results and replanning. So we take them round this performance management planning wheel several cycles, well actually 4 cycles within 1 year's simulation. So that's one of the real values of the simulation, we find. So the next video then, and the final video, is going to take us to yearly results. So we're going to assume that students have completed each of the 4 quarterly rounds and they are ready to move on to quarterly, from quarterly to yearly results.